I love Call of Duty Zombies. I don't know too many people who don't. The gameplay is amazing, the Easter eggs are fun, the stories are amazing, the characters are compelling, the soundtrack is phenomenal, and oh, I'm getting a little ahead of myself, aren't I? My bad. So what is Call of Duty Zombies? Let me start at the beginning. During the production of Activision's 2008 Call of Duty title, Call of Duty Red at War, the studio who was working on it was none other than Treyarch, whose only Call of Duty game before Red at War's release was Call of Duty 3. Some employees thought a bonus zombie mode would be a good idea and a fun side mode for players, while other employees thought the idea was dumb and thought a crazy idea like that would never catch on. The idea was greenlit, and Treyarch made the first Zombies map and allowed playtesters to try it. The mode was initially received with bad criticism, but with some more tweaking, the mode was eventually met with good criticism, and was released along with Red at War. Red at War was a phenomenal game with an amazing campaign and engaging multiplayer. However, it was quickly found out that once you beat the campaign, a new mode called Nazi Zombies would become available to you. Players loaded up the mode and was met with this unsettling cutscene. Immediately fans were intrigued, and the mode became a big hit with fans, and spawned tons of Zombies content that some say is the sole reason Call of Duty is still alive to this day. Zombies has gotten so popular, the new Modern Warfare game will likely be the first Call of Duty game in 5 years not to include zombies. But enough of the state of zombies now. I want to go back all the way to the beginning. Before we start this zombies journey though, I want to inform you guys on how this series is going to work. First off, I'm only going to judge the maps and the impact they had when they were first released. Basically meaning I'm not going to criticize any of the Red at War maps for not having flying dragons, multi-step Easter eggs with great cutscenes, and lacking AJ's face. Second, I won't be able to review some of the maps. Some of the maps are not available on PS4, and some of the maps I just don't own. Don't worry, I will give my thoughts on the maps I'm missing, but have played at some point somewhere in this series. But don't expect them to get their own reviews. The Zombies map I will be reviewing are all of the Red at War maps: Nacht Der Untoten, Ascension, Shangri-La, Moon, Origins, Outbreak, Shadows of Evil, Der Eisendrache, and all of the IW zombie maps. Third and final thing, I will be using gameplay from Zombie Chronicles in The Giant for the first 9 zombie reviews. The Giant is a remake of 3, and Zombie Chronicles includes 8 remastered classic zombie maps running on the Black Ops 3 engine with Black Ops 3 weapons. So some stuff I criticize won't apply to the gameplay you see until I'm done with Origins. So just acknowledge it as background gameplay and nothing more. So with all that said, let's finally take a look at Nacht Der Untoten, or The Living Dead. That's basically what it's in German. So, alright, let's start. Enjoy the simplistic story while you can, because trust me, things get pretty weird later. While the story of Nacht Der Untoten is explained later, I'm only going to cover what Treyarch had in mind when the map first released. A plane full of Marines crashed in a former battlefield, and only 4 Marines retreat into their bunker while the rest are either killed in the crash or by Nazi zombies. The 4 Marines hold out as long as they can before they're eventually overrun by zombies. And that's it. It's a basic story that's dark and simplistic. Nice. Obviously, a bunker isn't exactly a 5-star hotel, so there's only so much space you can have. There's a total of 3 areas: the starting room, which is a death sentence on later rounds; the mystery box room, which has the mystery box and provides players space to train. Don't worry, I'll cover what training is later. And the upstairs area, which gives the players an area to camp. The most popular tactic for high round attempts, and yeah, the map layout is way too claustrophobic, but I'll let it slide since this was intended to be the only zombies map, and Treyarch wanted a difficult map to make it more rewarding for high round players. Plus, I'm not sure training was even a thing back then, so Treyarch couldn't have known that would be a problem. Overall, the map layout is decent for what they were going for, and a map that constantly keeps you alert and running for your life. During this series, I'm going to have an innovation section where I discuss what new changes the map has brought, but since this is the first map, I'll take this opportunity to inform newcomers of how zombies work. The whole purpose of the mode is to shoot your way through rounds of zombies and try to make it to a really high round. In order to defend yourself, you must buy weapons using the point system. You get points by killing zombies and rebuilding barriers. Speaking of barriers, you can put up barriers to keep the zombies out by holding the action button. This may sound useful at first, but this method is useless on high rounds and only works on low rounds, so the zombies are pretty harmless anyways. You can use the points to buy weapons off the wall or take an addictive gamble by buying the mystery box to see if you can get a decent weapon. Throughout zombies, there will be types of weapons called wonder weapons. They are amazing weapons that aren't featured in any other mode in the game and can be acquired by either getting it in the box or crafting them in later maps. This map's wonder weapon is the most iconic wonder weapon in all of COD Zombies, the ray gun. The source of so many memes. All jokes aside, this weapon is really effective. You're seeing me using the ray gun Mark II, which is introduced later, but here's footage on another map of the weapon's quality, and aside from a splash damage, it's really good. Just remember to revive me, I have ray gun. There's also multiple power-ups you can get at random by killing zombies. There's Carpenter, which repairs all of the barriers in the map, nukes that kill all zombies currently in the map, insta-kills that makes all the zombies currently spawned in one hit, and the most useful, max ammo, which restores all ammo in your current loadout. I know training isn't exactly an innovation, but I did promise I'd go over it. Training is when you lead a horde of zombies around in a circle and fire at them once you have a lot. This simple maneuver is necessary if you want to go for high rounds on later maps. As far as innovations go, that's it. The mode is really creative and offers a fun spin on the zombies game formula.
Oh my god, no! Oh my god, no!
As I mentioned prior, Treyarch assumed this would be the only zombies map to release, so they wanted this to be hard, so getting to a high round would be more of an honor. The zombies can get you down in only 2 hits, and this is a really claustrophobic map, so all it takes is one mistake to get you down and end the entire game. Your only hope is to camp in the upstairs area I mentioned prior and use an LMG or ray gun to hold out. Training is too risky, and anything else will likely result in your death. This map may be a decent introduction to noobs, but it's really hard to punish any player for the slightest mistake, and the terrible loadout water weapons don't help. Nacht Der Untoten is a really good map for its time. I'm not going to judge the map how it is now, but rather how it reacted to it when it first came out, and it's no wonder that so many people fell in love with it. This map is not only fun to play, but also is a great foundation for the chaos that was yet to come. Get it? Chaos? Who am I kidding? No one gives a crap about the game anyway. The map has also introduced so many new and creative ideas involving zombies, but unfortunately, there is a negative. First off, any map that requires you to camp your way to a high round isn't particularly well designed. I mean, there are some really skilled players who train the entire game, but most resort to the easiest tactic. Overall, this map is perfect aside from its design, and I'm going to have to give it a 4 out of 5. It's really decent, but it does struggle with balancing issues. So, yeah guys, this is our first step in our large zombie staircase. There's 16 zombie reviews to get to. For those Call of Duty fans, are you guys a fan of Nacht Der Untoten? Do you think I judged the map fairly? Let me know in the comments below. As always, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you have, then please like and subscribe, and as always, I will see you guys next time. Peace everyone.